Good morning, everyone. Today is a really exciting day because it's our first time, well, my first time interviewing an amazing, really good soul entertainer friend from Italy, LUCA Volpe. And so every other day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go on and let's see here. Let's get him here. Get him on. So again, good morning and welcome to 1111. And we're going to call this, hey Luca, we're going to call this show Raw and Real, but we're going to embrace to empower. So I've asked, again, Luca Volpe to come in live from Italy. Luca, let's see here. Let's get you in here. Add you.
Ooh-wee. We're coming live from Italy, so it's going to take a bit to connect. There you are.
Hey, Miha, I'm here. Can you see me?
I can see you. There we go.
Yeah, the connection is a
Good
little bit
morning.
slow, but we should be fine. How are you? Afternoon here in Italy. It's like 4
I'm
something.
doing well,
Yeah,
Luca.
4:15. Yeah, good.
It's 11 in the morning here in the US. And I wanted to thank you so much for coming on board and sharing yourself with the world.
You're
Live
welcome.
from
Yeah.
Italy.
Thank you for inviting me. So it's a very difficult time, but people like you, like me, we always try to give you a good message to the world and trying to to calm the soul of the people, because it's the most scary thing is not actually the virus now, but it's the fear of the virus, and that's what I think is even worse.
Yeah. Do you watch the news over there in Italy?
Yes,
Do
I watch the news, but I also try to not watch too much, because the thing is, this all I've been saying this all the time to people that asking me, look, about how we can do to to not have all this fear inside of us. I always say, look, you are at home now, you are safe, so there is no point that you keep bombarding yourself of all the news, especially fake news that going around on social media. And that's very important, because otherwise we're going to condition our mind to fear. So I say, if you're at home, work on yourself, work on expanding your knowledge, all these kind of things to make you better, and not being bombarded of all these things going around, because otherwise you get crazy. You say, oh, okay, here in Italy is crazy. Now you have like 800 people dying every day, which is terrible. But again, if you see these things every day, it's like a worry. You just condition your mind to fear, and that's what you don't want. So obviously, you need to know the stuff from official, sources, and avoid all the social media stuff, all the video that going around this situation, because otherwise you can get really bad, because there is this solitude, this isolation, plus all these problems that you see around, and it's not good for your mental health.
Oh, I totally agree, and I can relate to you 110% because I've never really watched the news until now. Um, it's constantly on my phone, scrolling through, and I'm kind of forced to even look at what's going on, and I do get wrapped up in it, and it does affect my mental state of mind. And so for me, I take a really huge deep breath. I remove myself And I use my humor, like my inner child. So this is what I do. I use my inner child and my silliness. I go on TikTok. I'll go on and do a silly video because it makes me feel better
Yeah.
as opposed to being wrapped up, I call it a shit show. And
Yeah.
my 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 heart, my soul, my sincere condolences to the entire world and Italy right now.
Yeah.
Um, it's heart-wrenching to watch every morning when you get up. So what I do, the first thing I do is meditate, and I know this is what you do as well. I know
Yeah.
that
I
you're
have
into these stones. You
yeah,
love
I
the
have a morning.
rocks.
I have a morning ritual that I do, and even before opening my phone, I don't open my phone. I don't watch TV. I just wake up, do my morning ritual. Maybe I can tell you something about it. But the morning ritual is very simple. It's some physical, activity. It can be a yoga. Now, yes, it have to be yoga or something that you can do indoor. And then I do some meditation and some journaling, and once I fix my day, fix my morning, I fix my day because I can plan things I have to do. I'm home, but I'm trying to be as much as I can productive so that I can plan my thing. I can, again, as I said before, I can expand my knowledge. I can study new things. I can write. We can all enjoy this moment because I always say something which is very important. The time that we lose, we will never get it back. So it's better not to be scared of losing time, but be friendly with time. And that's, I think, is the most important thing.
Well, now you got me crying
Well, I
because
don't
that's
want
so
I don't want to
true, and
make
I
you
can
cry.
I
I don't
can
want to make
relate
you
to
cry.
that. But there was a comment about how, I'm an empath. I feel so deeply. And she made a
Yeah.
comment about being an empath. I don't know if you see it down there, of
Yeah, I'm just
how
reading. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and this is
it's
why I
hard.
was saying we need to look at the things, but we don't need to be too much into it because otherwise it really because imagine all this. You are isolated at home and there is people that suddenly they are just by themselves with no one else and they are bombarded of all this news. So obviously if you do this plus this, it will really, it's really bad. It will really affect your mental health. So instead of looking these things, work on yourself. Use this time for meditating, for working on yourself, to do the things that you never had been done. Maybe you can learn a new language. Maybe you can write a book. Maybe you can start to paint. There are many things that you can do now that you have time.
I
I have a
am
tea
going.
too, anyway.
You have green tea, which is good
Yes,
for you
good for me.
and me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm going to circle back on that because I know that you have this amazing book out there that's going to help and change people's lives because
Well,
that's
it's a big thing that you say, but it's a book that I wrote. It's a little book, which is this. It's a very small booklet, as you can see. But I think it's not about the pages, it's about the contents. No? And I wrote this book in a special moment of my life where I actually had some good connection with universe, let's call like this, okay? Where I actually saw that things was going to come in a way that I wanted. And then I realized that it was all because I really believed in the things and I really attracted things with my state of mind. So I learned that we can actually, if we actually build and we learn how to build a specific state of mind, we can actually attract good things. So that's what I explained. This is why it's called Empowering System Program, that actually, they can find on Amazon everywhere. because there are techniques which helps you to be in contact with your subconscious mind in order to reach your full potential. And that's what I think is important, because if we first we take care of our heart set, okay, and soul set, we can actually then somehow reach our potential because we know ourselves.
I agree. I agree. Digging deep within our soul and in our inner spirit, that it will help us evolve, especially throughout this time and in this worldwide embrace, this awakening that's taking place. But what has changed for you right now, because you have to stay home, you are in Italy? What has changed for you in your professional role? I know that you shared earlier yoga, but in your professional role and what you do, I want to ask you about that. And I want to also address, what is your professional role? What is your title?
Okay, I'm a mentalist and a mental coach, and I mainly do shows, mind reading shows. And obviously this has affected very bad my profession, but not only mine, all the performers in general, musicians and stuff like that, all the people that work with audience, because obviously there are no more gathering of people, we cannot do it. So we need to find some alternative to that. And I am lucky because I do coaching online. I do I have my mentalism consulting program, which is a one-to-one coaching where I teach other mentalists, other stuff. I teach body language things, and I can do these things through sessions. But obviously, I have a lot of incomes that are completely disappeared. I have show canceled at the end of May. We are talking about various, thousands of euros here worth of shows, which is not good. But again, we don't need to cry on ourselves. We need to use these moments to be strong and to find some alternative, and to even share with other people what we know. For example, now I've arranged the first virtual mentalism convention for all mentalists, and this will be the 28th and the 29th of March. Renzo knows this very well because he's part of this group, and this is something that we do all for free to make all fellow performers company during these moments. And again, we don't get anything from it, but it's the idea that we share what we can, and we share our knowledge with other people.
I think that's awesome. I feel as though, as a community, as a whole, in the professional world, even myself as an author, coming together with other authors, bringing it together and making it, just stepping up a little bit more of what we are doing. And that is just amazing that you're doing that, because it keeps the mind busy. What I want to know is, what was that turning point moment in your life that gave you the drive to work from home in your professional career? So I know that you go out and about, but what is it in your journey? Did it start when you were a young boy that you wanted to, because what you do as a mental coach?
You mean why I wanted to do this career, when I wanted to start to do that?
Because there's a lot of people that are we call it corporate America, right? In the United States, and they all work 9 to 5. I've never really adapted to work a 9 to 5. I was a single mom. I liked being home with my children, so I made it work. And I did work here and there, but a lot of people now have to adjust to being home. There is no corporate America right now. So let's touch on that.
Well, there is this, well, first let me tell you, and then, actually, let me tell you what the people can do now, because I know friends of mine that they job. And there is this smart working which is going on, even for teachers, which is working very well, actually. So there is still way to bring your work at home. And actually, I have a friend of mine, which he says, you know, I'm now at home. He works for a big bank in Italy. Then when I'm in the office, because you know, in the office I have to spend time to go there, so I lose more time. Instead, from home I'm more productive. So, you know, nothing is loose really. You can actually do better if you're home. Again, it's all about the mind. And my journey, you know, that's, you know, you say there's people that choose to do the 9 to 5 secure. What I mean, but
Oh, I really want to hear the answer to that question.
I'm also I had the opportunity to teach in a school.
Wait a minute, because it's a little going in and out. 1 second,
Because
Luca. Luca's from
I have the
Italy and
diploma
he's
in a
coming in
conservatory
on
of music.
Italy. So okay.
Naples, but
We're gonna get him back. We're gonna get him back. I'm just gonna send Luke another request. He was actually discussing um, he was discussing the 9 to 5 and staying home and how it's changed the world right now. I miss you too, Kyle. I miss you a lot. I'm so proud of you. God bless you, man. You were one of Nikki's really good friends, and I really miss you. I'm so proud of you, your beautiful wife, your beautiful children. You're doing it, man. Stay safe, stay home, keep the family home. So, getting back to the our show, which we're waiting for Luca Volpe. Luca Volpe is coming from us live from Italy. He's sharing. I'm waiting for you to accept the request, Luca, because the internet is not so great over there. And we were in the middle of a question, but I think it was a very important question that we need to pose in midst of what's going on and taking place in our world right now. We all pray for Italy. We pray for the world. We're praying for everybody, but we also are praying that you stay the fuck home. Jesus Christmas.
yes,
There he is. He's back.
yeah, I'm here, but sorry, but you know the problem is that in Italy, the all the internet lines are very busy because this is the moment where everyone is doing a live on Instagram, and we have a lot of time in Instagram crashes. So when we do live, that's a big problem.
Okay.
Not much with Facebook, but Instagram is a big mess at the moment. So.
So let's go back to that question because I didn't
Yeah.
hear the last like 35 seconds.
Okay, no, I was saying that I had the possibility to teach in a school because I had the diploma in music in the Conservatory of Naples, Conservatory of Music, and then at the same time I had the opportunity to work in the show business. But as you may know, the show business is the big question mark because you say, okay, what I do, you know, is not secure. But then I risked and I say, you know what? I want to follow my passion and I want to risk it because that's the idea. I think that the secret of success is to have the gut to reach. You know, I don't want to say another thing, but you know, you need to risk it because if you don't risk, you don't know what will happen. You can fail successfully and you can live with your passion. So this why I think it's very important that once you have a passion, you need to follow it. You know, you need to follow your passion. You know, I think that the success depend from the decision we make. And that's the thing, you know, if you really want to be successful in something, you need to decide that you want to be. And you don't need to be in your comfort zone, because if we all are in the comfort zone, we will never know what there is in that, you imagine two balls. No, here we have the 95% of people, the comfort zone, and here is the 5%. So how we jump there? Well, the only way is to risk and to decide to do it. That's the only way we can do.
I believe in self-motivation. I believe that self-motivation is the key to evolving and pushing forward. And that's a whole other show. But self-motivation for me, from the moment that I wake up, from the moment that I go to bed, I don't stop. I'm constantly in movement. I don't want to get into that comfort zone. And whatever it is I may do. I mean, I work, I'm not working now, but I work mind, body, spirit through what it is that's going to take place in predictions, like next month, in the next 6 months. But like I said, right now, the role of every corporate American is to stay home, and they don't know how to adjust. So the only way they can adjust is actually just to go within, and maybe be successful in finding like you say, right? What it is that you yes. Woo. So I wanted to also, how are the streets in Italy? Like where you are right now?
Well,
are they completely?
It's empty. Nothing. There's nothing. You can, if you see Naples, the main plaza, but also here, there's nothing. You know, and it's kind of weird, because it looks like the nature is taking back the world. You know, it's really weird. But you know, I think that we go all through destruction and resurrection. You know, so I think the world was probably bored, and they said, look, now it's time to calm down and let's do everything again. You know, and that's, you know, if you see the war, if you see the pestilence of all this world,
I believe in that. I saw a blue jay in my yard the other day, and the grass was so green, and it's winter. It's basically, you know, winter, spring coming, but I can breathe. Unfortunately, in the United States right now, not everybody is staying home, which is causing a rough amongst the communities. The leaders within our communities are not taking reign to lock it down, and it's very disappointing, because I have literally been in the house for about 4 to 5 weeks, and
but that's the way to do it. You know, if we don't want that these things spread, we have to stay home, and we need to understand that more we stay home, more we follow a normal procedure, you know, more this thing will go away quickly. But I scared, because, you know, I saw some videos in America and stuff, which some people doesn't care. Like also Italy. Also in Italy, we have some people that still don't care, but they're actually a lot more restricted here. You get fined, 4,000 euro fine, and you go to jail if you're outside. You know, if you're moving from your city to another one. So we also had the mayor of the city here going on the street and stop the people and making them back to their city. So they're very, very restricted here, because that's the only way. It's the only way. And that's what scares me for the Americans, because there are millions of people. And, you know, I don't know now, you know, how that works who will tell them to do what, but I really hope that someone will get these things in their hands and say, look, let's work like we all doing. You know, we started at the beginning, the people was taking a joke of us, Italian, say, oh, they're staying home, they don't go out and stuff. But, you know, as soon they saw that it's actually working, other places, they're actually doing the same. So I think that that's what America should do quickly, because, you know, there are a lot of people, there are millions of people. So they actually need to take, they have to do something soon.
You have to step up to the plate, and I'm actually ashamed. I'm ashamed for our government for not stepping up to the plate sooner.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking to like I said, going back watching all the social media, people should be just focusing on their careers and movement of the aftermath. So
Yeah,
I want you
exactly.
one more time to share with me your book. I want you to
yes.
share with the world your book from Italy, Luca Volpe. And it's not about, you said earlier, it's not about the size of the book, it's about the content of the book.
Exactly. And here, you know, you will learn the one thing I think which is very important is the mind's eye visualization. It's a technique that will help you to condition your mind. And I think that we need to do this, especially in these periods of time, because we need to understand that condition our mind in a proper way will help us to overcome obstacles and problems. Because if we are bombarded by all the things that happens around us, if we don't do anything for ourselves, we will be really in a big trouble, you know, with our mental health. So the first thing I think we need to do is to take care of ourselves in this specific moment of our life, and be more in contact with ourselves. Try to understand who we really are and what we really want. And that's the right moment to do it. The meditation.
But it's okay. You'll hear me later.
Sorry, can you repeat? Because the signal was a little bit strange.
Yes, I said I love your mind, and I love how you embrace spirituality in your life and in your journey, and sharing yourself with us today, because there's so many people that need to hear that. And there's not a lot of people that can embrace. And thank you, Luca, for sharing that. And if you can, please put a link in your bio of how to get in touch with your book. I know it's on Amazon, or put a link in here somewhere. What is the name of the book again?
Yes, this is the Empowering System Program, ESP. They just write the name.